Yeah, you're not going back up north, though?
Oh, what do you got?
I need a
season, so it's kind of strange where the seasons come down and don't even know how to run a lot of fun. They started the season with more fireworks, so it's been a they asked for the $94 tonight. And what second number is it on? This one was at 999. I've been going to oh yeah, it would say meeting number 13. Your second number will be 1343. So here's the name. Second number is 13213. And I'm just looking at a second group. I said who's organising it. Where are they putting the money? On the souvenir shop. So you've got their ticket.
So it's going to be interesting for these guys.
It's a practice for the Derby.
Yeah.
Teams Derby.
Yeah.
Front wheel drive versus rear wheel drive.
It is really, isn't it? So the 1NZ car is Matt Sherlock, the 3NZ Vaughan Fairburn, the 5 car Andrew Bennett, 9 is Brad Johnson, 21 is Ian Clark, 72 Brad Gordon, 78 Stephen Palmer, 86 David Phileas, 91 Alan Bailey, 99 Nick Fraser, and the 153 is Robin Wilson.
As we head past the Valley Cars Warehouse grandstand, they will have all given thumbs up because they love a wet, greasy track. No, there'll be a lap or so before they go racing.
Surely they won't go this time round.
Well, you never know.
No, yellows are still flashing.
Yeah, I've seen a super saloon store stationary start. And actually, just mentioning that, we were watching a video just before down at Beachlands, massive crash there with involving
Ray
Stewart, Ian Burson and Craig Cardwell, and I would suggest that Ian Burson is probably feeling a bit tender. He got absolutely drilled in the back under a fair bit of airtime. Looks like Ray's car just decided to die on the line and nowhere for anybody else to go. Jackson Lovelady and Pete Dixon narrowly avoiding it. But I'm sure
it was a big hit, yeah, for sure.
Pretty nasty.
We'll read a bit more about that tomorrow, I expect.
Well, the good thing is with the plastic noses, you take them off, put a heat gun on, they pop back out. Just the steel behind them doesn't marry up anymore.
So it looks as though Brian's got the green in his hot little hand and ready to start this production saloon race, brought to us by Mr. Whippy. Brad Gordon on the inside there, but it's the outside car, the 153 of Robin Wilson, who gets the jump and takes off into turn 1 first. Stephen Palmer in third there, looking pretty racy at the moment. The 1 and the 9 cars almost side by side, but the one's starting to get ahead. The 3NZ car, Vaughan Fairburn, just sitting mid-pack at the moment. Nick Fraser running the higher line behind him, already looking for the high part of the track, the outside part of the track. And behind him, Ian Clark, Andrew Bennett, Dave Phillips and Alan Bailey. But out front, running past the grandstand into turns 3 and 4 at the moment, 153C Robin Wilson, send it, it says on the front of that car, and he is sending it. He's leading this race by a car length from Stephen Palmer in the 78 machine. There are a couple of car lengths ahead of the battle between Brad Gordon and the 1NZ of Matt Sherlock. The other Brad Johnson, the 9 car, joining the party there as well. And Nick Fraser dropped back down to the middle part of the track now, racing with the 17 of Vaughan Fairburn. So tight at the top as Stephen Palmer seems to have slightly more pace than Wilson, but needs to find a way round a very tightly driven mid-track car, that 153. He's absolutely glued to the middle part of the track. Not enough room to go up the middle, not enough room to go around the outside. Sherlock's pulled to the infield there, bit of smoke out the back of that car.
He's in a bit of a moment there with the 99 car.
Oh, okay. I missed that, watching the lead as I was. And pretty much side by side coming out of turn 4, Stephen Palmer, Brad Gordon just, Brad Johnson just staying off the wall there coming out of turn 4. But side by side for the lead, Wilson and Palmer, literally neck and neck, nothing between them. And it's going to be interesting to see how this battle pans out. Stephen Palmer looking very high on the track there, coming out of turn 4, a little lower through 1 and 2. He just gets the nose in front of Wilson. Can he make it stick? He's been quick out of turn 2 all through this race. Wilson comes back at him into 3, but he can close down. Now Palmer washes wide, opens the door for Wilson if he's got the pace, and he does. He comes back alongside. So it looks as though Palmer's quicker through 1 and 2, Wilson's quicker through 3 and 4. Makes it interesting for where the start-finish line's position. There Palmer gets his nose in front, but Wilson comes back at him. Palmer may not have the grip through 3 and 4 here that Wilson does. Yeah, Wilson takes advantage, gets a car length ahead now. So goes across start-finish. Good battle between these two. Further back, the battle for third between Brad Johnson and Nick Fraser is a good one as well. But they're a long way back from the lead pair. And looks as though Palmer has had to yield the place. He's going to duck back in. He's going to try and push Wilson higher now, find the grip outside, but no. Wilson chops back across the front of him, takes the white flag. Palmer's got the inside line out of 2 here. Can he get the slingshot off 2 that he got before? Yeah, he kind of does. He's forced Wilson to the outside. Will Wilson try and come back to the inside line? Yes, Wilson does. That's where the grip is, but Palmer's got the momentum and by the narrowest of margins takes what I think is a fairly unlikely win. Well done, Stephen Palmer. Drove the way. So mini stocks out for their next race, brought to us by Trenchless Services. This is the adult variety. And they're about to go green and racing. 86, it's Reese Marsden we discovered, not Glenn Marsden, so it's the younger Marsden Jr. in the 86 car, and 7 Riley Evans, 42 of Stephen Parkhill, and the 17 of Scott Bright. It's all pretty tight as we go down the back straight into Enviroway's turn for the first time, but it's Marsden who just fractionally has the lead. Inside line looks a bit more promising though for Parkhill, and he's trying to get the nose of that 42 car up there. He's getting a bit of assistance in the rear from the 17 of Bright. Riley Evans just holding station there. He's dropped back to third now, but he's got a bit of a run on Marsden. Parkhill's got his nose in front. Marsden just dropping back very slightly, and it's tight at the top. Right behind them is the 92 car of Laura Weir and the 24 of Jordan Bork, and they're looking pretty fast as well.
The problem is, in one of these, once you get out there half a car width or car width wide, it's a long way back, and if it's the freight train's going up the inside, there's no way of returning back into the line.
Yeah, those skinny tyres don't give you the grip to change direction in that way, do they? So 42 Parker's got the lead, barely though, over the 7 car of Riley Evans. Scott Bright keeping them all honest, and if anything, Bright looks kind of the quickest in terms of power out of the turns, but he just can't quite get on the back of those front two. Reese Marsden settled back into 4th place, and the battle's still on behind him between Laura Weir and Jordan Bork. 195, Caleb Adam, the Lewis Hamilton of this grade, has worked his way from near the back of the pack through to mid-pack now. He's about to put a pass on Laura Weir. Trying to run up the inside there. And still out front, it's Parkhill. Can't shake off Riley Evans or Scott Bright. tight for the top three. Just a couple of car lengths back to Reece Marsden, and Jordan Bork trying to get past Marsden, and all the while Caleb Adam closing the gap on these guys in front, and I would say Adam is probably, yes he is, the quickest car on the track at the moment. Let's check on that lap there. Jordan Bork was quick, but Caleb Adam fractionally behind him, so that 195 car is closing, but I think he's going to run out of laps to do much about it. Meantime, Stephen Parkhill trying to hold off Riley Evans, and it's not easy. Scott Bright's decided to go high on the track and see if there's a bit more grip out wide. Riley Evans went so low on the track that he just about crossed the pole line onto the infield.
Well, to be fair, I think he was laying grass seed for us.
Yeah. Parkhill, meanwhile, trying to lead these guys through and not leave any gaps for anyone behind to sneak through. You get the feeling Parkhill's not the quickest car, judging by the way the cars are starting to rack up behind him. But he's got the front and he's not giving it up.
Yeah, track position is everything at this point because you control the speed, and it is, you don't pass 2 or 3 Ks faster around the outside. You've got to be 5, 10, 20 Ks faster down the outside. Jordan
Bork committed to the inside pass on Marsden then, got the job done, and Adam followed in his wake. It's white flag time, so just 1 lap to go, and Parkhill has done a great job here. Now here comes Bright, kept the foot down through 2. I'm not sure if there was contact on Riley Evans there or not, but he's got the place into second. Riley Evans going to go in very hard, but he hasn't quite got the grip. He's got the line on the inside. Parkhill's going to take it. It's neck and neck for second. I couldn't call that. And Jordan Bork in fourth, just ahead of Adam.
And just out of all of that, the 85 car tried to put the 92 on the wall, coming up 4. So,
but anyway, Production Saloon, second last event of the program, last race for the night for a Speedway Class, the Event 18, brought to us by Smith's Hire, and it's the 1NZ car. Matt Sherlock, who's leading the pack away there. And Alan Bailey in the BMW on the outside, and Ian Clark in the 21 machine on the inside, battling out for second place. Nick Fraser trying to thread the needle there, just backs out of it, and he's got Brad Johnson, on the 9 car there. I always get those two mixed up. And Nick Fraser's had to back right out of it, lost a couple of places there. He won't be pleased with that, but out front, the 1NZ, making it look fairly straightforward and standard at the moment from Clark in the 21 machine. Alan Bailey battling there with Brad Johnson. Vaughan Fairburn coming in the 3NZ machine, starting to wind up now. It takes a couple of laps to wind up that Honda, it really does.
The car or Vaughan?
Yeah, I'm not sure whether which it is, or maybe it's the combination of both. He never looks much in the first lap or two, and then he gets a little bit of space, a little bit of room like he has now, and suddenly that car comes alive, builds speed, and just looks so quick. So he's holding on to a solid 4th place at the moment. Fairly tight behind him, Bailey, Fraser, Brad Gordon, and the 5 car of Andrew Bennett. In the back of the field, it's the 153 of Robin Wilson. So coming through in Vireways turn, onto the front straight, Matt Sherlock. You can't miss that car. He's got about 4 or 5 car lengths over Ian Clark in the 21. Brad Gordon in the 9 machine, and the 3NZ of Vaughan Fairburn. And you kind of get the feeling that the action's going to be the battle for second place here. Sherlock, I think, has got enough in the car and in the lead that he's built to hang on to first, and I think Clark, Johnston and Fairburn are going to scrap over second, and it could be rather interesting. We've gone yellow because Nick Fraser's had a little whoopsie there.
Yeah, uncommon to see that one on the wall.
Yeah.
Nick's car does handle very differently to the other Hondas out there. It's almost like it's going in sideways like a Super Saloon.
He's been pushing it wide and high on the track all evening tonight. Doesn't always do that, but he certainly has been tonight. I don't know if he's experimenting with something slightly different. The way he's got the car set up as it favours out there, and during that race he was dropping back a little bit, almost as if, I'm not sure if the car was a bit too loose, wasn't getting the grip that he needed, but for whatever reason he's fallen off the racetrack there.
Yeah, it's traditionally a very quick car. I mean, Nick dominated this grade for a long time, and I think
Yes, he did.
Currently the Canterbury champ, making his return this year. Did go to the New Zealand title and basically became a ping pong ball. The car did not look very pretty. But yeah, sticking to the wall is not going to improve its performance. It is interesting when you look at some of these productions this year, bearing in mind that Vaughan Fairbairn's car has been to a New Zealand title and has actually been and came away with 3 NZ, how immaculate that car is. And yet there's one or two others out there that are held together with tech screws.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is definitely some different driving styles out there.
So Nick Fraser makes it to the infield of his own, under his own power. Not quite sure what went wrong there.
Front fell off.
Yeah, just have a quick look at the front of that car as he drives back, but
And he smacked the wall with that front
he
corner.
has, hasn't he? Yep. So the car's still mobile, but probably better safe than sorry. So 6 laps completed for production saloons.
Drop the window net, have a look out, see what's going on. As we watch the 1NZ lead us around the 21 car following behind. That's been puff and smoke for the last few meetings, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Yep.
Doesn't seem to be getting any
Yep.
slower, but
Seems to burn a bit of oil, that car. So here we are, the building speed. We go green, few laps to go. Last production saloon race of the night. Matt Sherlock leads away. Ian Clark. Vaughan Fairbairn trying to poke the nose up the inside there. Brad Johnson having none of that, and Fairbairn has to back out. Bailey's just dropped back a car length or 2. And so again, Sherlock's able to build a lead of a car length or 2 out front, but it looks tight for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. And I suspect that's where we need to keep our eye. Again, Fairbairn trying to get the nose up the inside. Johnson's space there, but Johnson closes it down, coming into 1, opens it up again on 2. If Fairbairn's clever here, he'll feign outside to inside on Johnson. Johnson's got that covered. Johnson keeping Fairbairn up high. I suspect Fairbairn's car not really comfortable, higher than sort of midline on the track, and Johnson's going to make him go round the hard way if he's going to go round at all. And the car's now a little bit of space opening out around them. As we move into the last lap, Brian waves the white flag, just 1 to go. Matt Sherlock's got this one, he just needs to bring it home. Clark, Johnson and Fairbairn. Fairbairn ventures higher on the track, see if there's a bit more grip out there. Doesn't really seem to be able to make a lot of progress. Who's going to be brave through the last turn? Well, actually it has to be said that Brad Gordon did in the 72 car, but he's too far back, and so did Robin Wilson. The 1NZ, Matt Sherlock takes it from Ian Clark and Brad Johnson. Oh lordy, right, we have predicted it and it's happened. The Saloons Heat 3 has been brought forward 1 race, and the Streetstock 3rd versus 4th race has been pushed back 1 to allow the teams to do a bit more work on their cars.
so effectively we're going to go from wrecking cars to wrecking some more cars. And that's not including this race. We don't know how this is going to play out either. Just
Oh, you're such a pessimist.
well, no, I mean, this is a
Pessimist.
team's race. Isn't that what we're here for? We're not here for high quality racing. We're here for wrecking cars.
We're here for wrecking
There's a
cars.
derby-
Yeah, let's face it.
there's a
There's
team's derby at the end
derby
of the night.
teams at the end of the year. Let's face it. You're 100% right. So this is the final of the saloon best pairs. We don't have any points. We did know what who the pairs were.
Lost a couple of cars.
Lost a couple of cars, so it's kind of irrelevant. So we'll just treat it as a saloon race.
We are
It's
so professional.
It's sponsored by CRW Posts. So if you need a post or a whole lot of posts, talk to CRW,
Canterbury Roundwood.
Canterbury Roundwood, and tell them you heard about them at Woodfordglen, and they will sort you out for posts.
And they do firewood too last time I checked.
Right, okay, not surprising. They're the posts that don't make the grade, presumably.
Or the crooked ones.
Yeah. Alrighty, so we're green and racing, and Don Hobbs off the front there along with the 17 of Blair Lee. Arson Scout trying to force his way through
He does.
over the front of the 8 car, and that's the result.
So Scott Woodhouse has proven his brakes work really well.
Yes, he pulled up magnificently there.
And I'd be surprised if Arjun hasn't lost his right rear tyre out of that. Oh no, he has. He's kept it. But yeah, managed to put the car into a gap that wasn't really there. And I would say that Mr. Hobbs will be putting new front suspension in that car to put it on the trailer.
I think so.
Well, unfortunate there. Of course, the 12 car is for sale, and if you've been on Facebook, you'll see it. It is a trailer and bits and pieces.
Not a bad. Well, I don't know what he's asking for it, but
No
probably
odds.
not a bad buy. But you know,
Yeah, 57.
okay. Yep. All right. But yep.
And mind you, the 8 car's for sale too. Less a set of front arms.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
So we've got any idea what Ocean Scout's doing? Picking up another
Absolutely
chassis?
no idea.
No?
No
Okay.
idea. I know that
No.
his brother didn't exactly post particularly fondly of the fact that his brother was selling his car. Saying that, we're interested to see what Dutchy does over the next season too, because of course he does have the ex Kirsten Vermeulen Super Saloon, which has had the stealth treatment, sitting at home.
Yeah, he's expressed a desire in the past to want to get into super saloons, hasn't he? So
Well, he didn't start. He did race in super
Yeah, he
saloons
did.
and then launched a motor big time before going into saloons and progressively getting better and better cars over the years. He jumped into. He's only done a couple of meetings in the super that he owns, but no doubt it's a due time it will find its way out. I remember he had a very nice Dodge Challenger that he sold. And I said, "What are you doing there?" He goes, "I get more time with the race car than I do on the road with the road car." And as of yet, I debate that the Challenger saw more track time than the Super Saloon at this point.
yes,
And saying that, this is not a bad bit of kit. The
it's a fast car. It's a good car.
lovely Corvette. I'm trying to think of ex-Nigel Ross car.
So we're just trying to work out here.
Something's up with Don in the 8 car. Unfortunately, he's in a precarious spot because it does tighten up quite a bit around there, so they'll, as the cars come round, they are on a complete restart.
Yeah, he's out of the car. Just
Problem is you're not driving a speedway car. It's a bit like driving a tractor. You don't put your thumbs in the steering wheel, but
Yeah,
your
that's
brain
right.
doesn't always compute.
and you can see what happened there. The car snapped round to the side. You can see the front suspension's been damaged. So it's entirely possible the steering wheel wrenched in his hands, and he wouldn't be the first driver by any means to end up with hand or wrist injury as a result of an incident like that.
Well, there's one Super Saloon driver I know. He actually has to grip it with his thumb because he can't close his hand properly.
Right.
Because of an injury years ago, and he's, if he goes into a pile up, he pretty much has to let go. He lets go of the steering wheel rather than damage his thumb, which is not a nice perspective to be in.
Okay, so we'll do a restart. Just Blair off the front row this time. Everyone else joined in. Back to where they were.
I can tell you that the Nelson team, the Knights, have gridded on the dummy grid, and they're waiting for the Raiders to join them.
And how many of them are there? Can you count them? Sorry.
Hand out.
Yeah.
Just look how many fingers have I got. Full Nelson team.
Full Nelson team. Okay, so Blair Lee's away in 17 car, and he's got Dutchy on his tail in the 72. And near the back of the field there, Willie Woodhouse making a bit of progress. But he's got Billy Woodhouse in front, his daughter, and it's just a bit tight there to try and make a pass this time round. Blair Lee builds a bit of a lead over the 72 of Peter Scouten. A couple back to Billy Woodhouse in the 117. Willie Woodhouse in the 3. Scott Woodhouse in the 7. It's all the Woodhouses in a row there. We've got a trifecta of them. The Mark Dobson car from Invercargill near the back of the field, and Brett McGlashan at the back at the moment. But there's another lap ticked off, 2 down for Blair Lee. And already Peter Scouten looking for the higher line. Blair Lee keeping it a little tighter through the turns. Peter Scouten, I think, just waiting for the track higher to come to him. The grip to appear there as the water gets burnt off by the tyres. Absolutely throws that 72 in, keeps his foot up it, and look at that. That is some pass by Peter Scouten. That is confidence in the chassis and in the car, the way it's set up. He has to be a little tighter through 3 and 4. Let's see if he does that again. Just watch. He'll throw the car in, Now a little bit more controlled this time round, and it's allowed Blair Lee to close back on him. But Scout knows he's got some grip out of 2 there, and he's just able to pull away down the back straight, pull away enough, I think, to keep him ahead for most of the lap. As they come back onto the front straight, it's tight. No doubt about it that Blair Lee looks a little quicker through 3 and 4, Scout a little quicker through 1 and 2. Willie Woodhouse also quick and joining these two near the front of the field and a long way back to Billy Woodhouse, Mark Dobson, Brett McGlashan and Scott Woodhouse near the tail of the field. So another lap ticked off. That's 6 down now for Peter Scouten. Throws that car in, keeps his foot up at through 1 and 2. He's got a good line, confidence in the car, and Blair Lee now dropping back into the clutches of Willie Woodhouse. Woodhouse looks quick, but I think he's going to run out of laps to do anything much more than pass Blair Lee. I doubt he's going to get near Scouten the way Scouten's driving that 72 machine at the moment. All 3 of these guys putting heaps in here, plenty of power, plenty of daring do as they go through the turns. Now Woodhouse cuts to the inside to try and get alongside the 17 machine and make the pass. Blair Lee just gets the power down, but Woodhouse, there's nothing in it down the straight. Who handles 3 and 4 better? Inside lines had a bit more grip in the previous races, but here Blair Lee seems to have progressed there. On the outside, I say outside, it's more midline track, and still they're side by side coming out of 2. Woodhouse comes back down the back straight. He's got the inside line. Can he make it work for him? No, he just has to scrub off a bit too much speed, and Blair Lee's able to keep the pace up. We're just going to come in the white zone shortly, but not quite yet. 72 Scouten down the back straight. His leaders, they're not going to catch him unless something goes wrong with that 72 machine. But it's the battle for second that's intriguing here. White flag waves. Peter Scouten goes under. And now, side by side, the 17 of Blair Lee and Willie Woodhouse and the 3 NZ. Nothing between them. Let's assume Peter Scouten's got this one in the bag. Let's watch second and third. Who is going to get the nose ahead across start finish? That's where it counts. Willie Woodhouse scrubs off a lot of speed there. Blair Lee keeps his foot up at there. No, Willie Woodhouse just.
Yeah, Blair Lee and Willie Woodhouse keeping it about a foot apart all the way around there. But Woodhouse, just get the measure on the 17 car tonight.
Yeah.
The 72 car out in front. Quickest lap on lap 6 is 17.9, fastest car on the track. Clearly evident, but I guess, for my 2 cents, I just think Dutchie's driving the car that much harder. I think he's just pushing it harder. I don't think there's that much difference between the other him and Blair Lee's car and Willie Woodhouse's. I think Dutchie's just given it everything in the 72.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So that was what was event 15, but it's bumped up to event 14, brought to us by Seascape Services, the final heat for the saloons. Hope the dear Claire next door will bring us some final points for the pairs.
Racing, and the Nelson and the 72 car straight into the 61 of Rose, and we're going across the ripple strip. We're getting all funneled in there. We can't tell who's doing what. It looks like Dryden comes out in the lead, and whoa, over, and we're going another beautiful roll.
Well, that's 2 for the price of 1.
And he's still driving. Rolling back. So the Jesse Stevens Hamilton straight over, but I don't know which one it was, climbed right up and launched him. And okay, yeah, so both drivers are out of this race. Well, it's fair to say the one that went over is probably pretty twisted, and the cages are being looked at. Teams Derby drivers, I know you probably want to sit in the crowd, but I think you've just seen the highlight of the night.
Yep.
So Teams Derby drivers, you've actually been called to your cars. So remember
that and do that in a few
Yeah, take
time.
your neck brace, helmet, gloves, all the other stuff, and starter keys down to your cars. And just remember what you saw, and please feel free to
replicate.
Replicate. Well, just the way the cars were hitting each other, you just sensed the aggression. You thought someone might go over, but you didn't think the pushing car would go clean over
the top of the rolling car that he just tipped up.
And he's actually driving back round now. He can't restart because...
Give him a round of applause. That was a fair effort there. You won't see that every day from 97.
So Neville Soper.
Neville Soper.
Well, at least it drives onto the trailer. I'm not so confident about the 72. Although, ironically, if you look in the program, Tony, his profile pic is upside down.
It is too.
So,
Yes.
Wow, man, there'll be some cool photos out of that. That was a serious amount of hang time, and he's going to drive to the infield too, or maybe not. He's definitely got a bit of suspension damage.
Under the rules, if you've rolled, you can't continue.
And Soap is just going to the podium. He's had a gnarly little impact, actually. To be fair, to be walking that still, he dropped his car from the best part of 6 or 8 feet in the air, and the 72 car's lost a wheel, but still driving.
Still drivable. Look at that, under its own power onto the infield.
That was beautiful. You couldn't have scripted that one. Yeah. Well, neither team may not have had the best tonight, but that was truly...
That was a memorable moment, yep.
That was moment of the night. And so, give them all a hand, they deserve it. Soap was lapping it up. And hopefully when Stevens Hamilton gets to the infield, was he still in the car?
Still in the car, I think. Yep.
Yeah. Don't know if you really want to shake hands, but it was a big hit. Just dug in, and once it went big. Actually, Rob Palmer has just sent me a photo.
I saw him clicking away whilst that was happening.
And so I imagine either him or TJ will have photos there. It was a big roll. It was a great photo. So
that was a good picture. Hope that finds its way somewhere where people can see it, because that is...
that was pretty awesome.
That's a contender for photo of the year, actually, I have to say.
That is actually a great shot, and it's, I'll be submitting that to the Eastern Z Awards. Okay, so we are officially half a lap down.
Yep.
Dryden is our race leader. Everybody knows that because he's sitting on the front straight. He's the only car left. And we are away and racing. I use that term very generously at this point. And the Nelson cars trying to tackle each other. So out in front, Dryden. Kyrgyz's blocked over the far side there. As our race leader has the 10 car there to run block for him. Being chased heavily. Well, 3 on 5, not mathematically desirable, especially not if you're Kyrgyz, and the car's starting to pitch and roll, but he's going to give someone a good wallop for their efforts. He's going to take them all on, and he does. He got them all in one car.
Slowed up all 3 Nelson cars. Not a bad effort, Chris Kyrgyz.
Well, it's in the surname, to be honest.
It is.
61 car's got a flat outside tyre, so he's going to have 0 pace. 10 car coming in here to block for Dryden. And, maybe not. Oh, the 10 car gets him. And that might be a lead. If the 15, is that the 15 car that's now in the lead? It's Watson's and Nelson in the lead. So, realistically, for Invercargill to win this, they're going to have to do a bit of hard blocking now. Dryden is there. Kyrgyz's on the brakes. Now we're down to 2 cars. And the 15. Oh, he gets him.
He gets 15, but 15 recovers. He's going
so hot here. And he gets the lead car. He creates a bit of chaos. This might work in favour, believe it or not. Chris Kyrgyz creating chaos. As the 82 car outruns the 61, fires the 82 in, and the 61's just discovered you can't go sideways. So Watson's still in the lead, back to Dryden. I tell you what, if Riverside do this, it's going to be... we're hitting a car over the far side.
82 has not got the pace on the 15 there. 15's pulling away, if anything.
Yeah, but Kyrgyz...
86 Kyrgyz's got to do something about 15 here. Is he smart enough to realise he's got a car in front of him? He'll be eyeing him up. He's got to blow him out the way.
What's coming in for Dryden? Dryden saw it coming. The 61's about to get tubed. And funneled into the end. Kyrgyz ricochets off the fit.
Now, Kyrgyz, assuming he's still got full power and full sense, has got to realise that car right behind him there is the race leader. Can he do something about it? Can he follow him in now? Oh, he's too quick. 15's too quick, but he's going to go very wide. Kirgizoo's wounded. He's not got the steering to be able to take him on.
To be fair, it's actually Musgrove in the 9.
Is it?
And Musgrove's the leader.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Okay.
And Dryden. No, not Dryden, sorry. Got a hold of Kirgizoo. The numbers are really against the Riverside cars at the moment.
So here comes the 9. So there's your race leader, cross start finish now, completing lap 9.
Dryden, he is coming through. He's going to wallop the back of the 61 car. It puts him round. He is really reliant on Kirgizoo to do some work here.
So Kirgizoo,
that's mangled.
yeah, he's lost a front tyre as well. It's down flat.
Oh, he's lost his chassis rails. As 82's going to get a bit of tricks
So
down here.
can he deal with the 9? Can he slow up the 9? He's done his best, but he hasn't got the front steering to be able to do much with it.
And he's about to get
Taken out of his misery, you might say. Yep, okay, so it looks as though the 9 car, Ryan Musgrove, is going to come away. There's white
just
flag.
rolling with it. I'm trying to figure out whether that's clutch smoke. So Musgrove's going to cross the start-finish line. Oh, straight
Oh, that was a...
And that's taken some bar work. We've got steel all over the track. But the 10 car got going out of all of that.
That was an end of the race hit, that was.
Yeah, that was an all or nothing. Right, the front of that car's gone. A win has gone to Nelson. That car was beautiful. And Elliot on the front row. We're going to go 5 wide, are we? Here we are. And somehow, up until the corner, nobody made any contact, which I must admit I was quietly surprised about it there, Ivan.
Let's see how we go down the back straight.
Oh, we'll do some Morse code.
Yep, there's the first tap.
Yeah, tappity tap tap tap. We're all taking dancing lessons. You guess which they're going to be doing. As we look through, Cal and Keith looking to move through the front, but Horton up the inside. To the outside it is Phillips. Horton will go through. So battle's really been between the 47 and 12 car tonight. 31 of Knox looking to join in. As we head to Enviro Waste. Just clocking up the laps, the 47 car, the 12 car looking to the outside of Knox, looking further back through the pack, battle there between the 8 of Cooper and Pinnell on the 59. But it is interesting to watch these drivers over the next season or two, particularly the drivers that have started mid to the end of the season, how fast they'll be by early next. Oh, we've got some manoeuvrings down there, the 12 and the 31 car just pushing each other out wide. One pushing more so than the other. Horton out in front, back to Keith, Phillips, Knox and Brooks. As we head through Enviro Waste onto the front straight. The 47 car just has a different turn of speed over everyone else this evening. But relatively uneventful now they get a bit of airspace around them. We put a battle there between the 823 and the 4. Those guys started right at the end, or midway through the season, or just after Christmas, both those drivers. And judging by the height of the driver in number 4, he's got a few more years left in the sport. As the 823 car gets into the side of him, just pushes him wide. There is a point where you're not actually meant to hit them, but that's all good. Out in front though, it is the 47 of Horton, back to the 321 of Keith, back to Phillips. And some of our drivers today over at King of the Coast for the youth mini stock champs. Hence why we haven't got the full complement of cars we would normally have.
Track's good for them here tonight too.
Yeah, they've missed out.
They've got a mid track.
Perfect track for racing. Like at the end of tonight, realistically, you could probably go and do a 30-lap feature on this track without, and we're going to put half a truckload of water on and stick some 10 derby cars out there. But it is the 47 of Horton Pass, the Value Cars Warehouse Grandstand. Keith is in for an opportunity down here at Enviro Waste, but I think the 47 car might have just controlled it enough. The checker is out, and what a great night for the 47 car. It tries to give the car the tank slapper. That will go.
Careful doing that.
A few years experience with a lot of these guys.
Yeah, well, the Campbell brothers have been around for quite a while. Finch is, they're newish in there, but also been around. Benji Smale's been around for
Didn't you?
quite a few years.
Didn't you sell your stock car to them?
Yeah, I did. Now I'll get it wrong. One of the Campbells from down there.
It was blue and white by the time
Yep.
by the time they got it anyway. Yes. There's just a little bit of tension between them because they're both running a full complement of cars. Well, subject to Kerry. I mean, I would imagine he will start regardless.
Oh yeah, even if it's only running on 5 cylinders, you just get out there and become a nuisance.
Well, you can certainly do that.
And it's first past the post too, and there's no points. It's first car past the post wins it.
Well, even if it was on points, it's still going to be a bit of a bloodbath because you need that 100 points. Well, it's almost teams racing is at that point now where it's almost irrelevant second, third, fourth, and fifth unless you are in those sort of rotating grids. You do just still have to win races.
Yeah.
So he's got the 3 minutes down there.
Infield clerk of the course just looking at his watch. Probably thinking it's past his bedtime.
No, we're still at 9:30. And yep, Kerry Campbell's up and going. So we'll let these cars go through, and then we shall bring the start vehicle back. So these guys won't have been in their cars when that last team's race was on, and they will have seen what Invercargill and Nelson did to each other. Some of them will have already premeditated what they're going to do. Of course, the first corner will dictate whether that's even possible. Credit to the cruising teams though. Like, these cars have already suffered a fair amount of abuse tonight.
They've got some spares, they've got some welders, and they've got some cut-off gear.
Yeah, well, I know the Canterbury team brought their own light tower and generator set, so... And nobody comes to the track with the toy welders. They all bring the big ones on the back of the utes and the service trucks.
Yep.
And half a car worth of spares. It amuses me the 46 car was actually Sean Andrews' tow vehicle last year.
At least it knew where it was coming. It's destined for the clay.
Well, yeah.
Oh dear.
Needed a BA and just happened to be his tow car.
So they're all lining up.
In the starter's hands. We're going to see how ugly this is about to become. As Paul Leslie just gets on the gas, the 29 car on the brakes, as is the 99 of Baldwin gives them. And we're going in hot and fast. Matt Peterson puts around the Finch car, gets on the brakes. As Campbell comes screaming through, Matt Peterson just pushes him to, it's allowed Jesse Helm to get through. And Matt, after one lap, it is the 27 of Leslie. He has got the Jenkins behind him. And watch this. He hit the brakes before he got into him, but Benji Smale straight into Baldwin, into the back end, as we watch Sean Andrew being run off down the back straight. Well, all sorts of carnage there. Paul Leslie clocks up. Sean Andrew has got the Jenkins car in on his tail. Race leader goes through on the 11 of Campbell. Down the back straight he goes. He's just getting some air. He just needs fresh air around him. Doesn't want to get... Oh, Sean Andrews getting spun and pirouetted. Needing to go and held a leather to wreck some Christchurch cars. Matt Peterson is on pursuit. They have the swing on the 11 car, and the 11 car gets drilled by Buddy Finch. They're funneling through the infield. All locked up and sliding. Well, she's a bit damper this time night on the grass. Whether they can disconnect will be interesting. Daniel Baldwin has got Benji Smale, and he's pushed him to the infield, pushing him through the back out. Interesting approach there. And Paul Leslie there looking on Sean Andrews has given him the room. There you go. Clear him. Whoa! Baldwin kamikazes the side of Smale. Jesse Helm goes through. Back. Sean Andrew there just...
Here comes Smale.
He tried to reverse flicks the 4-3-3 round. But in all the chaos, the trick is to remember who the race leader is.
Well, they've probably lost sight of him because he's hit. Or unless Jesse Helm, he'd be the only one that really knows. He's been running, hasn't he, for Otago?
Jesse Helm knows.
This is the lead.
This is the battle. 27 at 21. This is a battle for the lead here. And the 20.
Leslie got through.
Leslie got through, got the sandwich.
He's about to get tagged, has he? Oh, he's
tagged. And Helm is the one they've got to get. He passed. 29 straight into the side of the Campbell car. So Helm is in the lead. So the 21 car is. But he's in. Is he in trouble? No, he's parked.
He's parked.
Sean
Andrews is going to be a nuisance.
It's over. He's over. Oh, he's over.
Yeah. Sean Andrews just got spun up, and just as he got spun, it tipped him over.
Well, he went straight over. And all of that is actually the race leader there, Jesse Helm. He was stuck in the wall by Benji Smale.
Yeah.
I think Benji didn't have many places to go.
So Leslie's still sitting in second, and he's just right behind the 21 now.
So
it's going to be a bit of a drag race, and who's your partner? Who's going to find it?
So there's Matt Peterson's in there as well.
Yeah.
He's actually the lead.
Leslie's just in front of Matt Peterson there, the 27 car.
Well, who's in front of?
That's 29, so he's down a bit.
He's down.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mike Jones.
So there's been all sorts of chaos there. They're definitely going, and that just dug in. That's the second time one of his cars has rolled this year.
Yeah.
But the race leader at the moment, it's going to be on, because all first, second, and third all sitting down here past the pit gate. And of course, we don't know how much damage that Helm got because he got stuck in there by his own teammate. Looking at the front right wheel of Sean Andrew, it doesn't exactly look like it's pointing in the right direction.
And the right rear wheel's just
Full of
caked in
mud.
clay.
Yeah, that's called a counterweight.
Yeah.
In fact, you can see them.
You can see where it's gone. Yeah.
Yep, we'll be fixing that hole. Maybe not before the Derby.
Couldn't get the window net down, so Sean's going to go out the passenger side.
He's a happy boy. Wow.
He's always an entertainer, isn't he?
Yeah, well, that's his goal, I think. Although all of a sudden he discovered a few years ago he could drive.
Too far to walk, take the Can-Am.
Why not?
Yeah, free ride.
I mean, it's all of 20 metres, 30 metres maybe. Right, we're in the starter's hands. We are going to go racing. These guys know where they are on the track. And Helm is
just been passed.
Repulsed. And Smale is up by the wall circulating. Of course, that's the...
So Matt Peterson effectively will take over the lead now in the 4-3-3.
And the 11's up by the wall circulating as well. Now, of course, there's an unwritten rule here that if you're up by the wall circulating, you're claiming to be injured, and consequently you won't get hit. Paul Leslie's on the brakes.
So Peterson is now our leader.
As we've got... And he picks up on the back of Jenkins, gets into the back guard, releases him. He's doing tag and release here.
Does he realise he's in the lead?
I think he does, but it's a matter of just getting through without... And word light.
Red.
Oh, beautifully timed from Peterson's point of view.
He was already in that manoeuvre when the red come on, so...
Well, in fact, to be fair, the car on the infield actually probably did more hit, or car coming across his nose did more hitting him. So they're calling the 59 car to the or 59s to the infield. And I guess this is, you got to wonder, because the rule, they agreed as a team that if your car was wounded, you could circulate up high by the wall.
Yep.
Now, if you're going to do that and be in a safe zone so you don't get hit, what then happens when you decide to start playing again?
Oh, you're going to get smoked.
Well...
And really, in a race like this, where points don't matter, there's no point running up by the wall.
No, there isn't.
No.
Yeah, if your car's wounded, you might as well be down on the pole line and making it difficult.
Something happens. Yeah, I agree.
If you're going to get it, so the 11 car is the car, the red light's on for him. So he's going to get pushed to the infield.
So that's Dunedin down 3 cars.
Yeah.
Dunedin are going to be down 3 cars in this race.
And Jesse Helm, who was actually second on the track of 8 laps, is sitting on the infield as well. So it does make it rather interesting or awkward. Well, they're going to wreck the cars if they can't win it. So, race leader down at turn 4. It is the 433 of Matt Peterson, and he's amongst his teammates here. So this is almost like a safe zone. 29 car circulating on the pole line. The 99 car. Look at the front bumper on that thing.
The rear bumper got it.
Yeah, man. So, Matt Peterson, he is our race leader through.
Oh, 29. Took a lunge and just missed.
And he will come across again. And the 27 red lights on.
Red.
What's that going to, is it must got to be something on the track.
Just trying to see where it would be.
No, they're sending the push car out.
Is it because of the front bumper on the 99?
Well, it's still capped.
It's still. It's
Still capped, so unless it's on the track. So we're going to have a look. Maybe that's the other thing, we'll just check on it.
it's bent round, but if it's still structurally being held there,
Wow.
it's not a wheel gate.
That standing if it was. As
Scrutineer is just having a look at it.
I'm not sure how. Yep, they're walking away. They haven't signalled anything to them. I mean, it's most certainly
No,
bent.
they've,
Oh.
they've-
Well, it is protruding a long way out, so
maybe there's, if it takes a hit, it does come off.
mind you, if the front bumper looks like that, what do the chassis rails look like?
Yeah, bit average.
These cars are going on the plant this week. So we are 10 laps down. What did we say this was? 12 laps.
12 laps.
So,
And the good thing for our race leader, he's parked up here all by himself.
yeah, well, the thing is,
Yeah.
he's only got two, well, the third Dunedin car down here, but we don't know whether it's going or not, the 12 car of Kelly Campbell. It certainly doesn't look like it's going to be rapid fast.
So they're just checking on something down.
I'm picking they're looking for debris on the track. Yeah,
Yep,
Large.
found something there.
large chunk of metal. And might find that was actually the corner cap. Right, lights out. We've still got a derby to go, not that you could get the two confused. Race leader down at turn 1. Matt
He
Peterson.
just has to cruise and bring it home, doesn't
does.
he?
You just got to
Doesn't have
just
to
stay out of trouble.
Straight, yeah.
So
He's got plenty of trait.
to be fair, the Jenkins, the 345 car, it's
This could turn ugly.
oh, that was fast. The 29 car hasn't started on the back straight.
27 slows up and just parks in the corner.
Smoke billowing off the 345. White flags
flag.
out for Matt Peterson. The Dunedin guys haven't watched the flags or the lights. In fact, Peterson will have a safe run home now. He's
Yeah.
won it. So
He
Matt
just
Peterson has just got to bring it home. Doesn't even have to do anything silly. Just limp it around. Jenkins is right into the back of Paul Leslie. Oh no, it was Finch. Sorry. Checkered's out, so the Canterbury Cobras take it away. Matt Peterson picked it nicely. If the doesn't really matter who's second out of all of this, but we'll have a look at the ELS as they finish through.
Finch comes through in second by the look of it.
Well, actually, to be fair, Matt Peterson's 2 laps ahead of everyone else, so it's by the time they all cross the checkered flag, it really is irrelevant. So the Cobras, to be fair, 1 or 2 sick-looking cars. I don't mean that in a positive, like they look cool thing. And almost one final swipe from the 29 car. And then Mike Ford, 43 Josh King. And then you've got the Kiwi Auto team of 12 Daniel Hardy, 18 is Lee Carter, 68 is Owen Jackson, 72 Jesse Hamilton, and 99 Chris Maisie. Batten down the hatches. This is going to be a quick race and possibly a little bit if they're going to hit relatively fast.
Is that 18 of Lee Carter? Is that a Jaguar?
It is.
Yeah.
That's why the front row, he's taking up for the first row and half the second.
Yes.
Mind you, ironically at the other end, they've got a Ford Laser station wagon. So quite a contrast in cars.
It is, isn't it?
You would assume that the 18 car of Lee Carter is going to be doing some damage.
So you got to pick. There's no sitting on the fence here, guys. In fact, don't go near the fence, all right? But there's no sitting on the fence. You've got to pick Kiwi Auto or Rogues, and you've just got to cheer every time
they've let them go around. It's not like they're going to clock up an ELS. No, right, 72 car, searching, oh, just seeing what the track's looking like. So, Jesse Hamilton, just seeing what's like down there. For presentation, I'm actually going to give it to the Rogues. The 72 car's actually driven to the pit gate, so he's called for 3. Now the difference between these and Derby cars is there's a half cage in these cars.
Okay.
So we'll go do the cross members. This would be the first time ever I've seen a Derby car call for 3 minutes.
Yeah, I've never ever seen that. But of course, normally they just come out the gate, line up and go. They've never been.
I don't know if even they're afforded the luxury of 3 minutes. I guess.
No, in fact, I think he's been told he's not.
Oh well, he's just going to back up and wait for the pit. I'm not sure what's going on. Anyway, we will be racing shortly. Clerk of the course is definitely talking to the referees, whilst there's another referee who's drowning out most of the stadium behind us.
Yeah. It's a very loud voice, that referee.
The problem is you hear it quite a lot.
Alright, so like I said, folks, you've got to pick. You're either Team Rogues or your Team Kiwi Auto.
Well, the
There's
context
no-
of Kiwi Auto Spears actually sponsoring the meeting, it would be kind of rude not to support them.
Yeah, except that if everyone supported them, it wouldn't be very fair on the Rogues. So you'd feel sorry for them, so you'd want to support them, wouldn't you?
Oh, you never know.
Yeah. I don't know.
The 19 car.
Just pick a team, support it, cheer for them. I'd cheer for the team with the Jaguar. I mean, anyone who races a Jaguar is it's got to be a good guy, in my opinion. But
Oh, there's a lot of steel in that car
Oh, there
compared
is.
to say, I don't know, let's have a look through mostly big, they managed to find a whole bunch of what I'm assuming are big Japanese cars in there. Sort of very ambiguous in their identity.
it's partly the
Bit like
black
Boy
paint,
George.
isn't it? But
Right, we're going to start his hands.
this time.
I wouldn't expect a lot of great calling on this one. And we're away on racing. Of course, it is a derby. They are clocking up laps, but
Well, it's
And
first
we are
across the
going-
line, isn't it?
and we are going in fast. Oh, taken out by your own teammate though. The 19 car is screaming down the back straight. So definitely the Rogues are in control here, first, second, third. But look at the speed of the 72 car, but no, the car's apex the corner. The 19 car coming through around. Got to touch the car. So it is a touch to pass. The 72 car just tubes the 16.
That definitely touched the pass, yep.
Yeah. And the 4 he goes around the outside of King. King lets him go. 16 car getting a bit of treatment down here.
So the 18's adjusting his mirrors.
Yeah, 18 knows what's coming. It's the 19 car of Mike Ford. Got to touch him. And he's going to go for the reverse flick. No. They had to back off him a little bit.
Doesn't want to go around the outside of him, does he?
Yeah, but he's going to do the wee spin here, and he gets him. Right, so Ford is free. He's got half a lap. As the 17 car backs out in front of 72. And the 12 car, Dog takes a swing and a miss. 17, Aaron Brunk will turn around, graze the car down there. Big Jag. Just a whole lot of steel to try and turn. Smoke coming off the... I would say what number, it's 15, starting at 15. He's pretty much motionless the back end of his car. The 18 car getting run down the front straight. 19's coming through. We are pretty quick for derby cars, to be fair, Tony. Oh, we're over. Well, he did go over about 3 times.
Oh, some of the best commentary I've ever heard.
That was good.
Very accurate, very accurate.
Yeah,
It was
like
three.
over and over
Yeah.
and over and over. Just hooked in. And
Jeez, I'm
little
glad we got the limiter in place.
and the Mr. Capella goes over for a tumble. We used to have one of those years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, there you go. Second really exciting, memorable moment of the night. If you were sitting in turn 2 there, you would have got an excellent view of that.
Just a beautiful digging in and just catching it. These front wheel drive cars with the back wheels digging, they don't tend to like.
They don't do it gracefully, do they? No.
And he's
There we
Give
are.
him a
He's out of the
cheer.
car. Give him a round of applause. Plenty of entertainment there.
He got a fair bit of hang time, to be honest.
did,
I
he did.
wouldn't say you got to walk under him, but he certainly had. And they're just going to push this one off on the infield down the back. He's just parked stationary against the ball. He keeps
Yeah.
getting hit because you've got to hit the pass. Well, Rogues versus Kiwi Auto. So Kiwi Auto, out of all of this, losing 2 cars. The 68 car of Owen Jackson being pushed to the infield. And is it Lee Carter over there in the Mazda? Well, your eyesight's pretty better than mine, Tony. Can you see the
No,
number?
Lee Carter was the Jaguar.
Oh, it is too. Sorry.
Not quite sure on the number of that car. It's a bit hard to see from here.
Well, the 12 car's Dan Hardy, who's facing us in the wee.
Yep,
Ford Laser Wagon.
72 Jesse Hamilton right in front of us.
So by process of elimination,
Lee Carter's over there.
It's either the Maisie. Yeah, it's Maisie.
Chris Maisie. Yep.
And they're going to leave the car there by the looks of it. Or was that Josh King that got him over? Right. Red. I think it is, yeah. Looks like there's the 19 car pushes the 72 away. Who is our race leader out of all this? The 19 car?
19 was our race leader and I think still is. Surely you don't have to hit to pass a dead car.
Well, we're trying to, he's got to hit the 12 car, so he's following the rules.
He's doing very well, yes. He does not want to get pinged for that rule.
Oh!
Yes, that was
You're going to turn hard right.
Oh!
We're doing
All right.
pirouettes, 17 car, 16 and 15 car lining up the Jag. Jag's on the brakes. Goes wide. Trying fishing him to go out wide, and here we go. In with the 15, tries to put the Jag around. The race leader will just graze him on the way past, makes every effort. Credit actually to Mike Ford for the effort he's putting into the 72 car. And he gets hammered for his efforts by the 17 of Aaron Brunt. And he might get a second. He gets another one, oh.
Yep, just.
Oh, and the race leader he smoked his tyre.
He did touch him. So the Rogues are running away with this one.
Oh, the Jag's got someone over on the wall down the end there. And Dan Hardy's, oh no, 43 King lined him up and he missed him. Red light.
Suspect,
Dan Hardy's just done the radiator.
suspect that's for the car on the wall, which we
And just look at the
can't
12
quite
car, how much water is just dumped on the infield. No, it's moving though. Oh no, is it for...
Josh King's down there. That must be Tom Edwards, is it? In the 15.
That might be for fastening a car without hitting. Well, that's kind of embarrassing. Well, they'll pull the 43 car of Josh King to the infield. And, oh, yep, gonna stop. There's the 17 car of Brunt into the Jag. 19 car there. He still looks relatively straight, does the Mike Ford in his car. The 17 car, not so
Not so
much.
straight, no.
Not so much. Of course. Oh, got sparks flailing out of something down there. And he had a race leader coming through. He's going to have to give these guys a bit of a... There we go, he gives them a wee bit of a nudge. Pushes it through. No, he's got caught up here. But his teammates...
Got away with it.
He
Yep.
did, he did
That's
away.
actually smart driving. That's clever driving. Who is that 19?
Mike Ford. Oh, the 12. Look at the 72s. We've got the back wheels are clean off the ground. It's parked on top of the bonnet of the 15. The Jag doesn't look like it looks like it's got some transmissions issues. And in comes the 17. Yeah, the Jag's kind of parked himself in a position where the 19 car's trying to chase him, but he runs away from him.
He tried to hit him. He did everything he could try and do. You say the
White
18
flag
was
is out.
secretary. Mike Ford has driven one hell of a race here. Yeah, he's made contact with 72.
He's doing it beautifully. Actually. I'm quite impressed, to be honest.
I am very impressed. Seriously impressed. This is a good drive. You never thought I'd say that about a Derby Teams driver, but there you go.
Now he's going to come round. He's only got his teammate of Brunt, who, to be fair, is probably getting out the passenger side of his car after this race. Brunt's going to come through here and hit the Jag, and he's going to give it the wee little nudge.
He does give it the
a swing
nudge.
and a nudge. And the checkered flag will go out for Mike Ford taking away the team's derby for the Rogues. And that was